Kapitan wrócił, łódka cała i zdrowa. Wczoraj miałam problemy, jak wróciliśmy z wodospadu, bo okazało się, że przez cały dzień prawie nic się lity nie naładowały. Było 25% tylko na baterii, więc musiałam się wspomóc silnikiem i włączyć ładowanie litów. Dociągnęliśmy do 40, chyba 7%, więc całkiem nieźle. A dzisiaj korzystamy z uprzejmości Konrada, który tutaj mieszka w pobliżu Kęs. I jedziemy zobaczyć krokodyle. Już brygada pojechała, pierwsza część. Wzięliśmy też butlę, żeby ją wymienić na nową. Wzięliśmy też baniaki, bo paliwo idzie w górę, więc może uda nam się przytankować gdzieś po drodze i zobaczyć krokodylą farmę, która jest tutaj. Obiecana farma krokodyli. Ogarniamy imprezy urodzinowe. Dzień dziecka, dzień mamy. Wszystko razem, bo to jest dosyć kosztowne, ale ja chyba zabłądziłam w tę stronę.
Tutaj jest pierwsza.
Zobacz,
No dobrze, to na żywo zobaczymy może. Ja mam przyczepione, tylko mówię, że... Aha, czyli dwa razy. O, tak wygląda rzeka. Ale zielona. A tam na tej łódeczce malutkiej my będziemy i tam wyskakują właśnie z tej rzeki. Gdzie?
Tutaj kura.
Tutaj widzimy bok.
Kura. Pod spodem. Ja pierniczę. Look, he's over here. Look. Over here.
A tam płynie sobie jeden.
Ja go tu widzę, na tyle.
A tam płynie, zobacz, a tam płynie, porusza się. Tam.
O tutaj, nie, naprawdę. Widzieliśmy wodę i tu jest po nami, nagrałam go.
Ale numer.
Nie wyciągaj ręki. Ale nie wiem, moim zdaniem trochę słabo jest tutaj ubezpieczone.
Ale jest radocha.
A nie, Mauryku nie.
Jakie słodziaki. Fajne, Marysia, koale.
To jest maluszek. Nie, to jest maluszek.
A to nie jest koala, to jest inny zwierzak.
To kangur jest.
Jejku, jaki ładny zwierzę.
Albo to jest ten czy kanguru, taki drzewny. Nie wiem, jak to nazywają.
A to niewidzialny papuga. Papuga. Dzisiaj papuga.
A tutaj się mu pozuje do zdjęcia. Tak, ze zwierzętami. To jest z pytonem.
I ile to kosztuje, żeby zrobić takie zdjęcie?
Za $26. A, przepraszam, tutaj patrzę. 26 albo $35 darmowo. Za zdjęcie.
No sam, że ty.
Gdzie masz to ty?
O to.
Kolejny
A to przyjemność tyle kosztuje.
Ty jeszcze włożył jakieś.
Kurde, ale zdjęcie z pytonem to fajnie, co?
Nie wiem, mnie to nie jakoś nie za bardzo.
Trzymają węża na
Terytorialny.
O matka, jaki gigant.
No 100% że jestem terytorialny.
Bo
Okay.
trzecie jest właśnie.
Tak, to przyjdziemy tu na pokaz. Chodźcie dalej.
I co? Za karę tutaj siedzi w wozie, czy co?
No jak?
pobił kolegów, no to...
Jak żyje człowieka, to...
Dobrze, widzieliśmy przed chwilą. O, zobaczcie, tutaj są koale po prawej stronie. Kolejne.
Ale my idziemy
Kolejne
zobaczyć
koale.
Nie, idziemy na kazuary teraz.
Wyczułam kilka chipsów i on wyczuł chipsy, on wyczuł. Ej, a co tutaj jest?
Idziemy na kazuary.
Można je ponieść
Idziemy na kazuary.
Ja ich kopnę.
Jest taka,
Nie będę.
patrzcie, taka brązowa woda.
A one duże są?
No takie podobne wielkości. Emu.
Serio?
No.
Widać. Tam są.
Tak?
Tam
O,
chodzą.
no. Takie niebieskie tam za krzakiem. Mają taką niebieską głowę.
Tata są.
Co tam jest?
I one potrafią kopnąć.
Kazuary.
I jak cię kopną, to możesz umrzeć.
Jaka?
Jakie drzewo piękne.
Gdzie?
Za krzakiem. Zaraz podejdziemy bliżej.
Tak rakiem, kiedy oni...
Zobacz, jakie ma piękne ubarwienie.
Kiedy...
Ten ptak, którego widzieliśmy przed chwilą tam, został potrącony autem w 72 roku i od tego czasu tutaj jest.
He's been in human hair for the last 51.5.
W naturalnym środowisku żyją tak do 20-40 lat. A tamten, którego widzieliśmy tutaj, już 50 lat żyje z ludźmi.
O, Śnieżka, to jest wodę dochodzi.
To nie wracasz, tak? Słowo?
Nie widzę, gdzie ona jest. O cholera. Że się dowiadujemy tutaj, że aborygeni jedli żółwie i nadal w sumie mogą jeść żółwie, ale chyba wolą nie. Tak? Nadal jedzą? No to zdjęcie było zrobione w 1940 roku i tak właśnie łapali żółwie, żeby je potem zjeść.
Dzień dobry. Tutaj ma... Teraz zobaczymy zwierzęta. Patrzcie.
O,
Wombat.
wombat.
Co to jest?
Wombat.
Pumba. Nie
Ale fajny.
słodki. Wydaje się, że się to mieści w tej dziurze.
Jak się patrzy.
Ale się patrzy na mnie. Jest to wziął, oczywiście. A to jest wziął.
Pozujesz?
Pozuj! O, pozuje! Tutaj! Pozuj!
O, z każdej strony, Teraz tył.
On pozuje! Mamo, chcę tam wejść!
Mi się to trzeba wykupić tutaj chyba z panią specjalny rodzaj wycieczki, wiesz?
A to są takie małe, które...
Teraz czekamy w kolejce na łódkę i na tej łódce będą karmione te krokodyle z rzeki.
To może rozdać.
Tyle ludzi idzie na te łódeczki. Proszę.
Tutaj jest, chodź!
Siadaj tam, chodź.
Z tej strony tutaj on będzie karmił. O, tu on będzie karmił.
one here just wants to wants to have a good jump, of course. Hardest gliding animal on the planet. Fast. Keep careful, tail launches them up. The tail doesn't need to be touching the bottom, it's all muscle and they can launch up and take lots of birds out of trees. And that's the end of that one. They can also launch. So we've got to come out of the boat and grab all the eggs.
Gdzie jest krokodyl?
No tutaj leży, widzisz?
On jest...
Stań, Jeśka, stań na tym. Stawaj na to. Stań, no. Zobacz. Skacze tam, widzisz?
That popping sound they make is that. Yeah, just place my headphones like that.
Zobaczycie, widzisz?
Jest ogromny.
Widzisz?
Ten ładny
Massive crowds around, so we missed the big fella. It was good fun. You can pay him on the nose.
To jest moja najlepsza wyprawa mojego życia.
Nie rusza się.
Tutaj odkryliśmy dwa polskie nazwiska. Rodzeństwo bracia Pawłowski.
Dzisiaj najlepszy dzień.
9-metrowym krokodylem Gilbert River w
Chcemy karmić
1967.
To może Krystyna Pawłowski, co?
Krys.
To taka kobieta jest. A ten jest Rom Pawłowski.
Możliwe, że małżeństwo. Nie jest napisane. To jest to, oprócz tego, że
No tam to widać, że babka
w pracy.
stoi tu.
A, teraz tak, z daleka widać. Zabiła go. Boką mu strzeliła. A tutaj w Papui Nowej Gwinei. Jejku, jakie one są ogromne.
Ten miał...
Idziemy na farmę krokodyl.
Organic farming was made legal in Queensland in 1974, pretty much because of the shooting era. Between the 40s and early 1970s, we slaughtered hundreds of thousands of saltwater crocodiles with their belly skins. The belly leather on these guys is very durable. Have a feel of that passed around. And once tanned, suggested by some professionals, is the best leather in the world. Makes products that last a lifetime, which you can demand very good money for. Now we got wind of that, we got very greedy with it. We're out there slaughtering crocs for our own gain, and it got to the stage where these guys' numbers in the wild couldn't sustain it. We're basically wiping it out. Anyone back in those days could go and buy a gun and shoot crocodiles, and they did. Some did it for the sport, some did it for the skins and meat, and it wasn't fair on the croc. In fact, the gunmen out there all got together, there was a lot of them, and lobbied our Australian government and said, if you don't regulate this in some way, we're going to wipe crocodiles out of Australia because we can't find any more to shoot, okay? And so the government agreed, made farming legal. Now, a good way to look at the farming is this: the female crocodile in their mating season, which is our wet season, she will lay between 40 and 60 eggs. How many survivors she gets out of that batch is hard to say, because we're different in situation, but it's not many. We work on the stat now that about 1 in 500 make it from the egg to maturity, okay? Not many crocs survive. Here on the farm, we have a 98% success rate. So we're farming something that wasn't going to survive anyway to protect the ones in the wild. So all these guys basically get a look in, they get about 3 years of 5-star accommodation, and they are heroes to their ancestors because it has worked. I reckon back in that shooting year, croc numbers in Australia went under 5,000. And that's in all the swampy areas where people don't go to. Crocodile numbers now in Australia, last survey, there's over 250,000. All right, they're protected. It's illegal to shoot them. Farming looks after the meat and skin industries. And these guys have repopulated themselves back in the wild where they should be. Okay, so farming has worked for wild crocodiles, as simple as that. Now there's a reason too. At this stage they're getting crunchy food, they're getting chicken heads and bones and stuff because they can't deal with it. And about the 2-year mark they'll come out of these grow-out pens here. But now's a good time to think of them as heroes. Maybe 1 or 2 if any of these guys would have survived in the wild. Alright, it's cool to be kind. They take one for the team, but don't forget it has worked. Okay, crocodile numbers are back in Australia now where they should be because of this procedure. So once again, look at the big picture. Okay, now the products. You're having a touch of the belly skin. That belly skin makes all the products the ladies like the handbags and the shoes. Now we're after A-grade skins, which is no marks and no scars. Now management don't tell us what they fetch for A-grade skins. They don't tell us the business side of things, which is totally their business, totally their prerogative. I understand that. So I did something really good. PCA approved and government approved. The cocks are stung before they're euthanized, which is clinically proven to be the most humane way to do it. Basically no pains inflicted on them whatsoever, they can feel anyway. Now I had a lady ask me a question a few years ago. She said to me, is it true we skin them while they're alive? Now I found that a pretty interesting question. Obviously we don't. I went back and jumped on Google on that one. And that...
Tak brzmiał typowy australijski akcent. Z tego co zrozumiałam, to jedna z ważniejszych informacji była ta, że tutaj z tych, które widzieliśmy wcześniej, krokodyla składają jaja i teraz na jakiś czas odbywa się łowienie tych jaj i później oni decydują poprzez temperaturę wylęgania tego jaja, czy to będzie kobieta, czy mężczyzna. Już kochani, idziemy. Chyba babeczki są bardziej agresywne z tego co zrozumiałam i tak, i rosną, są większe. Farma jest utrzymywana dobrze zrozumiałam, do produkcji skóry z krokodyla, która jest bardzo droga i sprzedają ją na torebki, buty i paski? Okej. Tak, to właśnie pokazuję jak z tej farmy. Arctic Creek Crocodile Farming Company. Są wyrabiane produkty ze skóry krokodyla. Tak, od 1960 roku ponad połowa 23 rodzajów gatunków krokodyla.
Poszło na wyginięcie.
Tak, poszło na wyginięcie. A tutaj jest pokazywane jak niszczone są, poszukują jaj krokodyli i mimo tego, że je niszczą tysiące tych jaj, to północna Australia dalej ma ponad 100 000 i nadal rośnie populacji krokodyli.
This afternoon when I got her out, she wasn't too happy, and she has bitten me in a show once before. We'll see how we go. She's getting a lot better. So you know, I don't give up. You know, if she bites me, I might well take it tomorrow as well. She is calming down quite well. Now, as I mentioned, this is a python. Now, some of you guys in the crowd, you might be familiar with snakes. You probably already know what it is. If you don't, it doesn't matter. This is a Centralian carpet python. It's also what we refer to as a Bredl's carpet python as well. Now, native to Australia, they've got a pretty small distribution. These guys, as the name suggests, Centralian. They're found in the middle of Australia, so Central Australia, that's kind of where it came from. But the cool thing about these is that these snakes are carpet pythons. So they're in the same group as your coastal carpet pythons, your jungles, your diamond pythons. If you're down south, you're probably familiar with them. These are in that same group. The only difference is that these guys are a semi-arid to arid adapted species. So instead of living along the coast or in the rainforests, these guys are living out in the deserts and also in the low-lying mountain ranges around Alice Springs. Now, if you ever travel out to Central Australia, there's a very lot of famous sites, Uluru being one of them, of course, but there is a low-lying mountain range that goes from east to west, and it's called the Macdonald Mountain Range. Now, it's not McDonald's, people do get too confused, but it is Macdonald Mountain Range, and based off geological dating, we think that it is about 300 million years old. So it's a very, very old mountain range, and that's why it's so low. It's not building up anymore. It's done that millions of years ago, but for so long it's now been breaking down. And the reason I go to the trouble of explaining that is why that landscape looks so unique. It's been weathering and breaking down for 300 million years, and you get an absolutely stunning, gorgeous landscape that you see today. There's rocky gorges, these cave systems. They're a very good climber. you will often find them up on the rocky escarpment. And how many crocs do we have here on site?
Słuchamy o wężach, to właśnie tutaj podpłynął do nas.
Most of them are up at the farm. On this side of it, we've got about 30 or 40 up on the wildlife park side. It's like salties.
Największego pytona tutaj, jakiego spotkali, to był prawie 6-metrowy w palku.
Sorry if I am. Oh yeah, sorry mate, go ahead.
How can they eat goats?
Yes, how can they eat goats? It seems with great difficulty when I'm watching it. Snakes don't dislocate their jaw, so even though, you know, when they swallow food, it's like the equivalent of us swallowing a watermelon. The way that they do it is their lower jaw right here is not connected in the middle. So your chin, essentially, with us humans, we've got a bone on this side, we've got a bone on this side. They come together and they fuse into a solid structure, which is your chin. Snakes don't have that. These two bones are separate and they move sideways like that. And so what happens is the snake actually moves out, the lower jaw opens up, think of like a horror movie like in Alien or something like that, and then the food just goes straight down through the lower jaw, under the skull. What's that? Yep, swallow it whole. Yep. Generally what I find is that the snakes grab, they constrict, they let go, and then they get their nose and they nuzzle it into the food item and they find the head. They locate the head and then they swallow it head first. But snakes aren't that bright. They're not the smartest animals out there, and I've seen snakes swallow things backwards. I've seen snakes try to swallow things sideways. I've even seen snakes try to swallow themselves. So they're not the smartest, but yeah, they try their best. They try their best. Yeah, they're stuck between a venomous snake and a crocodile. It makes you question your life decisions sometimes. Should have asked for more money. Here we go. But no, this one here is infamous. If you live anywhere along the east coast, you've heard about them. You've probably even seen them. They're a common sight. If you live in, here it is. If you live in, especially that southeastern corner of Queensland, they're very, very common. But here it is. So this one here, this is your eastern or common brown snake. So these guys are responsible for the most human fatalities in this country, unfortunately. Now that's been about the last 30 years. So if you go back 30 years ago in Australia and you have a look at the snake bite deaths, the actual species that was killing the most people was the tiger snake. But what's changed a lot in the last 30 years is mainly urban expansion. So a lot of wetlands and these kind of areas have been developed, and tiger snakes are quite sensitive to that. So their numbers drop off as soon as you start to develop those areas. Brown snakes, on the other hand, are the opposite. They actually thrive on human habitation, especially agricultural regions. The classic example that we have up here is on the tablelands. So if you take a drive up there, it's beautiful scenery, but historically that whole area was rainforest. You wouldn't have found brown snakes there at all. What happened though is they cleared a lot of it for sugarcane and other farming, and all the snakes that were found in the area, they moved off, and then the brown snakes moved in. And now places like Malanda on the tablelands, that's brown snake capital. There's a lot of brown snakes in that region, and they're one of the most common snakes that gets relocated up there every year. Now, they are venomous, yes, but a lot of snakes are venomous. So why exactly are they killing the most people? It's because they're common, they're active during the day, so they're active at times when we're also active, and as I said, they're in close proximity to us. They're the factors that play the main role. The most venomous snake in the world, unsurprisingly, also found here, is the inland taipan. They haven't killed anybody. No one on record has been killed by the most venomous snake in the world, and that's because it's out in the middle of nowhere. You've got to travel hours and hours and hours to come to a place that not really many people want to go to anyway. So coming into contact with that species is extremely unlikely.
Nie, a tutaj są.
There's a gecko and a blue tongue.
Są też takie iguany, które gubią skórę, a tam w kąciku razem z nimi mieszka żółw. Największa wąż w Australii, 6,1 metra, waży 100 kg. i występuje w obszarze Indonezji i Azji Południowej. Komoda to ja się tutaj nie spodziewałam. O wow! To raczej indonezyjskie zwierzę. Myślałam, że tam zobaczymy komodo. Jeziku, jakie wielkie. A tu można dotknąć kangurka. Taki mięciutki.
Hey guys, you got me, one of the rookies, coming out to do it for you. And if you can't tell, I am a little bit nervous. I haven't done the show for a while, and it's also a giant freaking crocodile waiting to kill me, so it should be a good show. But to start the show off, we might suss out what kind of mood he's in, see what we're dealing with today. Usually the water's pretty murky and you have like no idea where it is, but I'm going to assume that dark, ominous, crocodile-shaped shadow right in front of me is probably the crocodile. It's a little bit cold in here. Alrighty. Are you real? Oh, I hate when you do that. Oh, coming up. Coming up? Come on. A little bit closer. Oh. You might want to go out any further. Alright, give him a second to reset. Now he knows I'm here. So yeah, I'm not going out any deeper for 20 bucks an hour. I wish I was joking. Alrighty. That's a bit better. Coming up. Come on. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. Yeah, that's close enough. Stuff that. Alright. Look at the chicken. Look at the chicken. Alright. That's on there. Nice and high for the fans. There we go. Give a round of applause, guys. This is something a bit different for our main show, Crocodile. Now, when he started doing this show, Harry Potter was super popular, really kicking off. And we wanted a name that, you know, people could relate to. And just like the character of Harry Potter, this guy also has a really big buffy head on him. So this is Hagrid, guys. He, however, is not a gentle giant. You might have picked up on. So what Hagrid's going to be doing throughout this show is he's going to be trying to set up in some kind of ambush position. He can't help himself.
On zabijał tego krokodyla?
Nie. Daję mu swoją pozycję, wiesz? Zobacz, jak blisko niej.
Watch out. They bite you really hard, and then they U-turn. That's it. U-turn. Slowly U-turn into the water.
Ponad 3 metrowy jest ten.
There we go. Now, let's say I stuff that up, right? He grabbed hold of me, was taking me out into the water, holding me under. I realistically would give myself like 10 seconds holding my breath. Him on a stress-related dive, and you're probably wondering what the heck's stressing him out. Well, he's just secured a big prey item, his heart rate's going to be elevated, he'll be chewing through more oxygen. I'll be fighting for my life as well, I won't be giving up easy. Him in that situation could hold his breath for 30, 40, maybe 50 minutes. No worries at all. So won't outlast that. Here's that minimum exposure posture, guys.
40-50 minut.
Even though it's freaking creepy.
One potrafią wytrzymać pod wodę.
Now, They did a recording of a freshwater crocodile while doing a relapse dive. And it's the current record holder at the moment. And it was holding its breath for just under 7 hours. Alright. You have it this time. You want it?
Widzicie jak on ten?
Well, you have the tiniest bit of that. Alright, you got a bit of grip? Alright, let's go. Head shakes. Oh my goodness. Come on.
O mój Boże.
God, you are so heavy. Give us a roll. Come on. Look at the food. One up.
Nie mam.
Yes, it's ectothermic, so they have to draw heat externally.
It'll be warmer than that.
It's a cold day today.
To było dziwne. Dobra, to mam krokodyla.